Hello my dears, and welcome back to my corner of the internet. My name is Shannon, and tonight I've got another paranormal type video to share with you guys. It's been a while since I filmed one of these videos, but as we're in August, fall's not too long in the future, it's got me already having that sort of spooky feeling creeping up from the pit of my stomach, and I just wanted to get on here tonight and talk to you about the haunted house that we're going to talk about tonight, which if you've been around my channel for a while, you know that I love haunted houses. I love ghost stories. I love reading about them, watching movies, documentaries, anything. So today we're going to be talking about the 9th most alleged haunted house in all of America, the 2nd most haunted house in Massachusetts, and that is the S.K. Pierce house. Now this house was built in the late 1800s by a man named Sylvester Pierce. He was a businessman. He came to his fame and success and money because he owned a furniture company. It was the S.K. Pierce and Sons Furniture Company. And in fact, the success of that very company in the furniture industry led to Gardner, Massachusetts, the town where he lived, come to be known as Chair City because it was just so well known for this furniture company. So I've got some notes here. So it says in the late 1800s, he decided he would build a mansion, one truly befitting a man of his stature. He put in so much time and effort and manpower into this house. It's said that the mansion he created was truly spectacular for its time. I'll insert a photo here. It's very beautiful, but it also, to us in this day, or to me at least, looks very spooky. And it was very large for the time. It was nearly 7,000 square feet, which, you know, is a very large home these days when you're watching, you know, reality TV shows about real estate, or I was watching one about real estate in Los Angeles, and I saw a house that was 40,000 square feet. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do with 40,000 square feet? I can't even imagine. What would you do? That's too big. I was telling my husband, like, if we lived in a house, not even that large, but even much larger than where we are now, like, you'd lose each other. Where would you even go? Anyway, so this house had 10 bedrooms, and it took 100 men a year and a half to build it. And the house boasted a lot of those really personal, intricate details that make these mansions, especially these older mansions, so spectacular. Just hand-carved moldings, exquisite banisters on the staircases, those things that, you know, especially in these quickly manufactured homes of today, you just never see those details. And that's what really gives a home its personality. So yeah, it says painstaking detail was used to create every inch of this masterpiece, from the master bedroom all the way to the servants' quarters. You know, no corner was left untouched by just these painstaking details. The guest list was one that was constantly just filled with politicians, presidents, movie stars, celebrities, businessmen, inventors. Anyone who was anyone at the time made their way through this house. And I was reading as well that it was also a well-known meeting place for the Freemason Society. So Pierce and his wife Susan and their son had, you know, they just had all the hopes in the world when they moved into this house. They thought that it was going to be just their dream home for a long time to come. But unfortunately, Susan got very ill very quickly after moving into the house. It said mere weeks. One place I read said 2 weeks after moving in, she got so sick, and it was a bacterial sort of illness. I don't know if it was an infection or what it was, but she quickly succumbed to it. And then, you know, Sylvester and their son were left alone. But, you know, a rich businessman, he wasn't alone for long. He gave himself a respectable morning time, what he felt was, you know, appropriate. And 1 year later, he took another bride. This one was 30 years his junior. And her name was Ellen. And him and Ellen, they had 2 more children together. So they lived on as happily as they could. And then in 1888, Sylvester died, leaving his wife and his 3 kids. And then many years later, when Ellen died, there was a sort of a big kerfuffle between the 3 children over who would get the house, who would run the business, things like that. You know, you hear this sometimes of these sort of things tearing families apart. So the Great Depression ended up stifling the business, and eventually Sylvester's youngest son, Edward, took control of the mansion. So it was said from there that, you know, after the Depression hit and business it didn't bounce back the way that anyone would have hoped. And so times became tough. The fortune began to dwindle, and the house kind of came under hard times as well, because, you know, if you don't have the money, it's hard to be able to maintain a grand home. And eventually Edward thought the best thing to do would be to turn the house into a boarding home where he could make some money off of people staying at the home. But it kind of went off the rails from there. It became known for drinking and gambling and prostitution as well. And, you know, especially back then in the day, that was a lot of scandal to have, and it would keep people of, you know, respectable people away, and it just drew in sort of people of ill repute, if you will. So from there, that's where some of the really darker tales of death and murder, which are leading to the current day hauntings. It's said that a prostitute was strangled in the infamous Red Bedroom. And then, I got some notes here. So she was strangled in the bedroom on the 2nd floor. While in 1963, there was a Finnish immigrant boarder, and he was said to have burned to death in what was the master bedroom. And the really weird and deeply unsettling thing about this was when they went into the room, there was not really any damage done to any of the room but his body, which was very clearly burned. So that led to rumors of spontaneous combustion, because nobody else could explain it any other way. So, then there's a story about a young boy having been drowned in the basement. And so after all of those tragedies take place, as the years go on, there's just constant reports of supernatural activity happening in this house, which makes sense, you know, if all these deaths, where are these spirits going to go but to linger around in this mansion. So the ghosts that are said to linger here are S.K. Pierce himself, Susan, his first wife, and then his youngest son, Edward, as well as a nanny named Maddie Cornwell, a gentleman named David, who some believe to have been the Red Room Strangler, the girl that was killed in that room, a young girl who they try to piece together based on age and appearance. They think it might be the granddaughter of Pierce, the Finnish immigrant who was burned, and then a lot of people just report some unnamed dark entities in the basement. So then when you think, okay, so what are these guests experiencing in this house? So it's been said that they hear everything from voices, to chanting, to full body apparitions of just full human bodies. Moving furniture, screens flying off windows, slamming doors, the sounds of footsteps on the stairs and in the halls, sudden temperature changes, that's a common one, foul odors, shadow people, and an ominous lion's roar that's said to shake the entire house. Where's the line coming from in Massachusetts? So they do believe that the lion's roar is Mr. Pierce himself, just expressing his absolute disgust with the current state of his home. You know, the home he built, that he loved, that he shared with his family. Others have felt the pressure of hands pushing them. One visitor felt that a presence was attempting to push her down the stairs. Can you imagine? You're just walking and you feel like you're being pushed down the stairs, but there's nobody there. One visitor felt that a presence was attempting to push her down the stairs, while another was almost forced out of a third-floor window. Paranormal experts have said that the entities in this mansion are the most advanced they have ever seen, as they are capable of harnessing electrical energy and converting that power into the ability to move large objects and impose their will physically on their current surroundings. And I was reading too that previous owners of this home have really tried to get to the bottom of the mysteries of this house. They've brought in, you know, paranormal reality TV shows to explore, and the shows listed here are Ghost Hunters, Ghost Adventure, and My Ghost Story have all visited this home. And the stories of this home have also been captured in books such as Haunted Massachusetts and Bones in the Basement, Surviving the S.K. Pierce Haunted Victorian. So, yeah, I mean, it's it's chilling just to think about. And from what I could tell, to this day there are still tours that go through the house and will take you there, but they, on the official website for the house, they have a warning like, not for the faint of heart. You probably will experience something unsettling, so if you can't handle that, don't come. So that would definitely keep me away, because as much as I like reading about, you know, these haunted stories, I don't know that I would want to experience it firsthand. So the final bit that I have here, okay, this tells you about that attraction to come. So it says, in 2015, the Dark Carnival acquired this property with the intent on fully revitalizing this once great Victorian and restoring it to the beautiful centerpiece of the neighborhood that it once was. Once the renovations are complete, the Dark Carnival will open the mansion to the public for overnight rentals for the brave souls who wish to experience the mansion during its darkest hours, and for historical ghost tours where visits can learn both the positive and the negative history of this home. During the Halloween season, they plan to open the basement only of the mansion weekends in October. So I think at this point, they've done that, I think. Anyway, I loved reading about that house. I loved it, and I just had to hop on and share it with you guys, even though I was planning on waiting until September to get back into the ghost stories, but sometimes you just can't wait. Sometimes you've just got to jump in and share. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope maybe it made you feel a little spooked. And I will see you guys again real soon with another book talk video. Bye guys.